Hello to the Venus. Yeah, so I've been seeing these 10 Un-Goth Confession things, and I've been making videos a while, and I'm loath to make a video involving me, which is what I'm doing now. Most of my videos are attempted attempts to make music videos, just stuff to waste time, showcasing various things like video games, stuff like that, and it's not really well done. I'll admit it there. Some of you do. I don't have a lot of advanced technology, and if I did, I probably wouldn't know how to use it. Yeah, that's just me. But I kind of got the idea to make this 10 Un-Goth Confessions thing because well, a lot of you probably aren't aware of it, but I am sort of marginally into the goth subculture, and I actually have a lot of. This is a good way for me to sort of get these out because I'm always sort of thinking of them. Well, not always, but they tend to come to mind every now and then, and it's sort of a way to get this out there. See what you guys think of it. I know that at least one person thought of me as a goth. There was this one guy who would comment on the video and call me things like a goth bag and stuff like that. I really miss that guy too. I wish he'd come back and make some more comments, man. I really would. Uh, so yeah, let's just. This is by no means an exhaustive list, uh, but it's what I thought of. It's what I could immediately think of. So let's go here. I am absolutely petrified of bats. There, I said it. Yeah, I can't stand bats. I mean, I don't hate bats by any means. I like bats as animals as long as they're, over there somewhere far away from me. It's just, you know, but there are actually a lot of bats where I live, and you might think you like bats, but wait until about a 3 pounder just comes about 2 inches away from your face, and yeah, see how much you like bats then, and even if you still like bats, yeah, that's just an experience I can't do. Yeah, sorry. And there's that. Okay, and next we have Bauhaus. I was never really a fan of them. I like a couple songs, literally just a couple songs. I know that Bauhaus is kind of regarded as the goth band a lot of times, and most of the time, a lot of places. And I could really just never get into them. To me, there are just so many better goth bands, or bands that could be considered goth, both from that era and from more contemporary sources. Like I'm more of a second wave, third wave, I guess you call it, if that's what you call it when they come out nowadays. Sort of goth music appreciator. Uh, um, you know, I don't know. I could just never get really got into Bauhaus. They just, for the most part, they were either just kind of that boring to me. Like Bela Lugosi's dead. Like it's an okay song, and it's got its place in history and all that. But for the most part, I just don't listen to it, especially not the whole thing. And the other songs they have, like "Passion of Lovers," "Cheese and Parties." I don't like that one. Um, "Kick in the Eye," "Dark Entries," "Sanity Assassin," those sorts of things. Those are all right songs, and I can listen to them sometimes. But I would argue that they're not really goth at all because they're still at that sort of that sort of rudimentary punk level. They haven't really gotten the goth aesthetic in there yet. And you could say the same thing about Suzy Sue and the Banshees, and I don't mind because I think a lot of their music isn't goth either. But I have an easier time accepting that they're goth, and Bauhaus for some reason. And I just don't care for Bauhaus that much. I like Peter Murphy though. I like Peter Murphy. Got a lot of respect for Peter Murphy, and I like Cuts You Up. And maybe I should have put that on this list. Yeah, there's that. I've only ever been to one goth night in my entire life, and that's because I live in an area where there are no goth nights, no goth culture whatsoever. There's, I guess, baby bat culture and mall goth or whatnot, but just nothing like that around here. And I'm, I guess I'd say, kind of mildly autistic. I mean, I've been diagnosed and everything, and I have that dreaded AS term that I'm not going to mention here because so many people seem to have it nowadays, and I learn something new about it every day, and I'm just not going to go there. And I sort of have attachment issues with my mom, whom I live with, and is getting old, and I can just pick up and move. And if I lived in a place that had more goth culture, I would probably go, but or here and there. But yeah, I've really only ever been to one goth night. I have a fairly significant amount of goth friends, I guess, but I only connect with them online. Um, but the goth night that I went to was quite a memorable experience, and I'll always cherish it. But I've only ever been to one, so yeah. Okay, with this one, you're probably thinking, huh? But it's like this. Goths are supposed to be a very liberal crowd, a very accepting crowd, a very anything goes type crowd, and from a political stance, I guess that's me, but personally, I have very definite ideas about what is right and what is wrong, and everyone does, if they try to deny it. And I'm perfectly okay with homosexuals and what is it, the LGBT crowd, or that's what they're calling it. My brother is gay. I love him very much, and I to an extent, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But my personal views are, be gay with a penis. Don't cut your dick off and masturbate around with a fake vagina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. That is not what I want to do. That's just me. And I don't think sex change operations should take place. I don't think they should outlaw it. But I have to speak against it. You have to have lines somewhere. Or really, the whole idea of goth really would fall apart if there are no lines, because in order for there to be an interplay between light and dark, you need lines. Light and dark are not the same thing. You could argue that they are from a physical and also from a philosophical viewpoint. But without some sort of contrast, you're going to, it would be really boring. And a lot of what makes the gothic aesthetic, as far as like literature and things like that go, it's the contrast and or the interplay between concepts, forbidden concepts, ideas, and things like that. And if you just say that anything goes, it's then there's really nothing goth about the world. It's the way I look at it. And as far as my lines go, yeah, sex change operations, they should not be. There's my opinion. Here's another one that's kind of subjective, I guess. I'm adding this because I don't think you'll find this sentiment really much amongst people who identify as goth. I really don't like things having to do with the occult at all. I mean, to an extent, I do like maybe fiction that works some of it into it, but like, you know, spiritual paths, I guess you call it, religions like neo-paganism, ceremonial magic, things of that sort. I mean, some of it I have a greater, I don't know, I guess tolerance for than others, and I have nothing against people who do it, but I really dislike that sort of thing, and I think part of it comes from the fact that I actually did go through sort of an occult phase when I was a teenager, and since then it's just kind of one of those, you did it, then you didn't like it, and now you really don't like it, sort of things. And I just, you know, either way, I know that a lot of, things within the goth culture, kind of, even if you're not, even if, it doesn't go with any sort of serious occultism, um, you'll end up finding something like, a lot of goths like to wear pentacles and, things of that sort, like ghost stories. I hate ghosts. I'm not afraid of them. I just don't like them. Maybe that's another video. Who knows? Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Um, yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I guess this sort of goes with the last one. A lot of goths will wear, crosses, thongs, pentacles, like I said, and I don't do that. I wouldn't wear anything unless what it was I was wearing represented something I believed in. And since I don't believe in Christianity, I don't believe in, Wicca, I don't believe, in ancient Egyptian paganism, New Age, whatever the song would go with. You know, I just don't do it. It's not me. And I know a lot of goths, will do that. Crosses are well-known symbols in the goth subculture. They're really associated with it. There's usually a cross somewhere or a variant of a cross somewhere in a picture of a goth scene or a goth band. Same thing with aunts and pentacles and pentagrams. You got to distinguishing between the two. And it's just not something. It's again not something I do. And I know there are a lot of goths out there who would agree with me and actually don't do that. But since there's such a strong sentiment that that's what you do. You wear something because you think it looks cool or it looks goth or something, or just looks creepy, whatnot. I added that amongst the confessions there. As I said before, there's no goth culture here whatsoever where I live, and I rarely leave my house anymore. I've rarely left my house, to tell you the truth. In my life, I mean, I've gone out, yes, but I'm not someone who is in a habit of going places, except maybe to help my mom with something, or do some work around the house. And since that's the case, I really don't care what I wear, and what I wear usually in a day could be described as in one word or two words, really, not goth at all. And I know that's four words, but it's warranted in this case. What I usually wear is just pants, and they're black pants usually. Today I'm actually wearing blue jeans, but you can't see it. And just a white shirt that I sleep in, and just shoes of any kind. I just don't care what I wear when I'm inside my house, which is a lot of time, and you know, I don't care what I sleep in either. I've got night bottoms of all sorts, of all colors, and not all colors. But I've only got one pair of like slacks that I sleep in that are black. That doesn't even make them goth. I'm just saying, it's just, I don't usually dress gothy, anymore. But if I ever go out someplace, I do make sure to, wear what I like to wear to make myself look good, and what I look and what that is usually, falls under the goth tag. So yeah, but normally I don't wear anything gothy at all. I'm also quite a hairy person. I'm not the hairiest person on the planet, but I do have a significant amount of arm hair, and my legs are covered in hair. And I'm mentioning this because I know a lot of goth guys will shave various parts of their body to get that sort of androgynous look going. Me, you're lucky if I don't look like some sort of mange-ridden Santa Claus. I can barely I only shave, when I absolutely have to. Like, I'll feel my face and be like, yeah, I think I'm getting a little too shaggy. Like today, you caught me on a good day when there's no facial hair on me. I don't like having facial hair, and I don't really like having a lot of hair, period. But I used to actually shave my arms. I never actually shave my legs because no one ever saw them anyway. But then there's that problem, that when you shave something, it just grows back even hairier than it was before, and I just, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just not that, I'm not that devoted to render that high maintenance of a endeavor to myself, just so I can, have something that I ultimately really don't care that much about in the first place. As long as my face looks all right, that's fine. I'm like I said, I'm not the hairiest person on earth. This is like, you can definitely see the hair on my arms there. Whatever, I don't mind. But there's that. And here's another one that a lot of goths will probably agree with me on, and it's not really a goth thing. Kind of is, but isn't. Whatnot. It doesn't necessarily go with goth culture, but there's it's kind of a revival of an interest in taxidermy and bones and things like that. Just things that in general entail you having loads of dead things around you, and I definitely do not like that. I never have. Cannot stand it. It violates several of my own beliefs, just personal beliefs. Whenever I see like a dead animal in like a flea market or something, I call them dead animals. People call them stuffed animals. Hey, it's dead, whatever. I just feel that if you're not using an animal for food or clothing or medicine, something you really do need, then it should be either in the ground to rot naturally the way, God intended it to. Hey, look, I do believe in God after all in some shape, kind of fashion. Or used to feed another animal, or someone else. It shouldn't just, you know, shouldn't just be in your house. I'm sorry again if I'm offending anyone. It's, people who do practice taxidermy, people who do like dead animals, yeah, dead animals, in their house and around them. Clearly, they don't feel that way, and there's nothing wrong with it. But that's how I feel about it, and I definitely don't like it. I don't care how many stuffed animals the Adams family had in their house. It's not going to be in my house. What can I say? I don't like it when rednecks do it, and I don't like it when goths do it either. I always say. And this last one will be I cannot stand Ava O. Who is Ava O, you might ask? Might ask, because, some people might not know who she is, some goths might not know who she is. Ava O was the one-time wife of Roz Williams of Christian Death, and I love Christian Death. I like Roz's Christian Death much more than Balor's Christian death, but we're getting off topic. Why do I dislike Ava O so much? It's just, well, I think she's a psychopath. I really do. I've known people who remind me a lot. I've known people whom Ava O reminds me of a lot, and it's just like, she's gone through so many phases. She's able to do so many things. Like she went through a Christian phase right after she went through a satanic phase with Roz when she was married to him, and she was just easy to. She was just so. She was able to do it so easily. People might think, well, she's just trying to find herself. People change. And you're right, people do change. And in this case, I don't think it's people changing. I think she's just a chameleon. I think she may have done that when she was married with Roz, the Christian thing, because she knew it would get on his nerves and might cause drama. And here's the thing that really makes me really offish about Ava O. You may or may not know this, but she dated Richard Ramirez, who was a serial killer. And she did it because he was a serial killer. She wanted to be with someone who had taken life, and she celebrated it while it was happening. So, if you like Ava, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, but you shouldn't. So there's my 10 Un-Goth Confessions, tremendously Un-Goth Confessions, and thank you so much for helping me get them off my chest. I can't wait to discuss them in the comments, should you decide to comment on them. I guess I can wait because it takes about 2 years for people to notice my videos, and another 2 years for them to decide whether, and another at least 2 hours to decide whether or not they want to comment on them. So thanks, and have a wonderful Un-Goth day. Yeah.